everyone, Chris Lyon here again with another great filmmaker interview. We're interviewing all 20 of the filmmakers. You can check them all out at prizefest.com. And why are we doing this? Because Louisiana Film Prize is about to begin for the 2021 year, which is going to be at Prize Fest happening in Shreveport, Louisiana, September 24th through October 2nd. And of course, the film portion of that will be Thursday, October 30th through Saturday, October 2nd, with the award ceremony on the 3rd of October. So please go to the website, prizefest.com. You want to check out the films and the filmmakers that you'll be able to kind of get a preview of there. You'll be able to check out the musicians, the chefs, the fashion designers, the comedians. All of it is there. We're going to be posting up schedules and venues and all that sort of stuff here shortly. So there's a lot to explore. There's a lot to learn. So head over to prizefest.com, buy those tickets. And then also as a reminder, as you're heading into the festival, this year's Prize Fest will have a requirement for health and safety of providing a vaccination card, or you can take a COVID test and provide a negative test to us within 72 hours of your arrival at Prize Fest, and you'll be set to go. We're going to try to make the most healthy and safe environment possible. And then, of course, if you are someone who doesn't want to come down to the festival and prefer to watch from home, Film Prize is going to be streaming those movies on prizefest.com as well during that time. Just be sure to buy that online Film Prize ticket. So without further ado, I'm so excited to bring up a good friend of the prize here, Vernae Ewing Thompson, with her film, I'll Follow You. Vernae, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So you are, as I mentioned, no particular stranger to the prize. You have Lance Thompson in your life, who was a music prize contestant last year, took home the grand prize last year, and now you guys are back again. Lance is, of course, doing music prize, and you have your own kind of flag in the ground with a film prize project. So why don't you tell us a little bit about I'll Follow You, what it's about, and how you decided to tell this story?
Well, first, thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored to be a part of Louisiana Film Prize. And the story pretty much is set in the 1700s, loosely. And it's about a young girl that got captured, and she's trying her best to get back home and trying to find solutions. And at the same time, her husband and village, they're trying to find her as well. And so they're on a journey to find her. At the same time, she is trying her best to get away. And so it's tied around adventure and a little of romance, suspense. You'll find a lot of different characters throughout the film, funny, some that are a little mean, and just there's a lot of elements that we wanted to put in the film. Like I said before, adventure, suspense, and I mean, it's so fun, and we've worked so hard on this film to bring it to life, and we're just excited that it's in the Film Prize for everybody to see.
Absolutely. And so tell us a little bit about how you came up with this story. You've mentioned so many of the elements that are in it. Where did this come from? Is it just the beautiful mind of Vernae, or was there some other inspiration externally? How did it come about?
So I actually, I have to really step back and tell you a little bit about when I was a child. My dad, he wrote like little stories for us. He read stories to us. And so that really just allowed me to have an imagination. And so as time went on, I actually, as a hobby, just started writing because I was like, man, I like the way that, maybe the story begins and, a certain particular film that I saw or read, but maybe I didn't like the ending or vice versa. And I decided, let me just come up with my own stories and do my own thing as a hobby. And so it just kind of catapulted over the years into, different stories. This particular story, I just wanted to do a film. I really said, man, I really want to. And I sat down and I was just listening to music, and sometimes, different music, and I guess I contribute that to the acting part of me. It just caused my imagination just to get bigger and bigger. And then that's how this idea just came, I'll Follow You, and the adventure and the excitement and the fighting and all that stuff. Yeah.
Well, there are a lot of elements in the story, and one of them is music. Would you mind kind of giving us a little hint as to how music is incorporated into this film?
Well, what we did, Lance Thompson, he's actually the composer for the film. Amazing, amazing talent. But what we did was we decided for the one of the big elements of the film, Blagaya's song, that's what we call it. We actually we went through the script afterwards, and then we sat down and we said, okay, we need something that can kind of just grab to bring the storyline together from the past to the present. And so from that, we just he started writing, and you know, the different elements with the drums and all that tied into it. And then, so that was one of the first initial songs that we created. All the other songs in the film actually were created after we completed the film in post, which made it a lot easier, obviously, because you can see the film and stuff. And so the idea we wanted with the music was to bring the storyline to life even more. And we feel like that's been done, from the fighting to the sad moments to the oh my gosh moments to, you know, the triumph moments. We wanted all of that to be in there, and the music it helps the journey along from the beginning to the end. And that's what we wanted.
Well, I can't wait to see what the audiences have to say about it. But if I were to kind of maybe have you do a thought experiment, you know, say that you're at the festival, and you have kind of these folks streaming out of the theater, having seen the movie, and you know, you hear whispers on the wind of "I'll follow you" and the comments that people are making. If you were to kind of imagine what those comments might be, or what you hope that they might be, what is it that you think those audience members should be taking out of the film, having seen it already?
Gosh, man, that's a great question. I think I really want the audience to feel good. When I go to a film, a lot of times I'm like, man, I just want to sit here and feel feel good, feel like, oh my gosh, this is a great type of film that I can, you know, maybe glean something from, or maybe just I've had a stressful day, and so I just want to sit here and I want to just see something that has hope in it, has, you know, a victory in it, something of that nature. And so that's what I would love for people to see, that they just have a good time watching the film.
Well, I think that that's certainly something that's on the menu. But let's go back to the production a little bit.
Sure.
You brought in a lot of people to work on this film. Just looking at the scale of some of these scenes, there are a lot of people involved. What was it like coordinating all of that? Who all did you have helping you out making this film a reality?
Oh my gosh. Well, I have to give credit to a lot of the crew, from, of course, Lance Thompson. He was the AD. John Warp, who was our third AD, second AD. Misty Jacobson, of course, our DP, Anthony Gutierrez, and Jose, who, I mean, we just had a mare out of different crew. And one of the things I could say is that we've, in the cast, we all worked so hard in the pre-production to make sure that when we were on set, we were able to, you know, make sure that the film was a success and it flowed well, because, you know, we had limited time. And of course, all the different scenes that we had, I mean, we've had a lot of scenes. And so
And some big set pieces too.
correct, big set pieces, fight scenes. I mean, it was a lot. And so pre-production was one of the biggest parts. Now, obviously, when you get on set, some things change. And I have to commend the crew, the cast, the extras, everybody just being able to be flexible and go with it. on set.
Right. Well, and so tell us a little bit more about that process of being on set. Of course, the pre-production is a big part of it, and planning and everything. But when you were there, how many days did you film? Where did you film?
Yes. Okay. So we filmed for 3 days, and then we had one day. Well, it was 4 days. Originally it was 3, but we had to reshoot because a lot of the footage, we ended up, something happened to it to where it was not usable. So we had over 17 plus scenes that we had to film in one day, additional day. Yeah, it was a lot. And so, but we're really thankful we got it all done. And the location that we shot the film was the old Salem set. We were really just blessed to be able to utilize that set. And so it was phenomenal. And, we had in some of the sets, we actually, like the huts, the village area, we actually created that ourselves. And some of the market scenes, we, obviously we had to do. And so it was such a great moment in time. But yeah.
That's awesome. I had worked on the Salem set. For those of you who don't know what the Salem set that she's referring to is, Shreveport hosted a TV show here called Salem a number of years ago, and they built an entire small, fictional version of Salem, Massachusetts, in the middle of the woods out here. And so I'm super glad that you got to use that set and got to see another life with your project. It was certainly, for those who either watched that show or worked on that show, you can see little pieces in there that's a little familiar, which is really super cool. I'm glad that you just said nerding out a little bit on that, but just the fact that you guys also built these other set pieces, and that I can't believe that this film was made in 4 days. Let's just say 4 days,
wow.
But it's like 3 days. That's crazy. It's a wild amount of work that you guys had to do with the costumes and the number of people that you had to work with.
Yeah.
It's certainly a masterclass in like resource management. So kudos to you for pulling that off. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it wasn't just me. It was a lot of people, from my dad, mom, sister, to costume, Stacy Lee, to hair, makeup. I mean, it was a lot of people. So I just have to thank everyone that had a part to be in I'll Follow You. Just thank you so much for being a part of it. Yeah.
Sure. So tell, obviously you had a story to tell. You wanted to tell it through the medium of film. Which came first, an interest in making something for Film Prize, or were you going to make this project and kind of found Film Prize in the process of coming up with this idea? How did Film Prize kind of become a part of the project?
Well, actually, a few years ago, I really wanted to create a feature film from this. And it was funny because Gregory last year, he was like, he was like, it would be great if you create a short film for the LA Film Prize. And I was like, yeah, that would be fantastic. And so I just started last year, creating a short film out of the feature film that I had, condensing it. And boy, it was difficult, but I got it down. And, so that's pretty much how it started. And I'm so excited. I'm so glad that I was able to be able to put the film in, and it got selected to be top 20. So it's just like, it was an idea. It was a thought. And I have to give credit to Gregory, because he was like, why don't you put it? And I was like, that's a great idea. I think I'm going to do that. So
right. Absolutely. Well, so let's put yourself in a vision forward mode, and let's think about the festival has happened. You've had an opportunity to hang out with the audiences and the judges and other filmmakers and other creatives. And you're sitting there on Sunday during the awards brunch, and they bring out a giant check. It's covered with like a cloth. And then they pull back the cloth and it says, "I'll Follow You."
Oh my gosh.
As a winning film. What's your reaction? And what do you do with those winnings?
I think I'm like getting a little teary-eyed because I think it would just be, number one, I would be overwhelmed. And I think I would just think about all the hard work, the sweat, the tears, the long nights. I mean, I'm just getting teary-eyed just thinking about it. It would be wonderful.
Yeah, this is
It would be wonderful. It would be fantastic. The funds that we would get, if hopefully we get selected as the winner, we would put back into our business and use it for more projects. You know, one of my dreams is to make this a feature film. And, you know, so that's what I want to do. And hopefully maybe even some more features and some series. And, you know, so it would just be an investment back into the company to make more films. Yeah.
Well, that would be something. And I know that we would all love to see more projects from you in the future. But we are kind of running toward the end of our time. So I did want to give you an opportunity to kind of give that pitch to the audience. Why? I mean, of course, the film will stand on its own and the story will be there for people to assess and to judge. But and putting in the back of their brain, what is it that you want to put there as they are watching this now before the festival to help them choose your film to make it onto their ballot?
Well, number one, I just want them to go in with an open mind and when they see the film. And I hope that they get a lot of joy and that it inspires them that, look, if she can make this film, she can do this. Look, I can probably do anything too, you know, and I would want them to understand that there was a lot of hard work that went into this, a lot of joy, a lot of pain, a lot of everything. Yeah. And when they see it, I just want them to be like, wow, this is such a great film. The actors, the crew, everyone has worked extremely hard, long hours, getting up 5 a.m. and, you know, but ultimately I want them, when they see it, that they see the adventure, the love, the struggle through the journey. The journey in itself was a struggle, but how did the characters develop? How did the, you know, what was in the end of the film? How did that actually happen? And so it's kind of hard for me to put it into words because there's so much, and it's only 15 minutes, but there's so much in it. And so when you see it, I'm pumped. I'm just hoping you can see it. And I hope that you guys vote for us and tell your friends and family to come see I'll Follow You.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to hang out with us today. I do want to close out with our traditional revelry. So, you know, we're going to do a Viva la Film prize to close us out. So we're going to do that on 3. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Viva la Film prize.
Fantastic. Congratulations on getting into the top 20. Best of luck at the festival and take care, okay?
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.